In this lecture, we are going to describe the conditional logic. Conditional logic can be performed by the help of if statement, by the help of switch statement. So these are the two variants of if statement, where we can apply the if statement by simply writing if and a blocker statement. That is the simplest version of the if statement. If statement is a part of control structure. In the control structure, already we have described sequential control, selection control, and repetition control. Repetition control is a loop, and loop can be implemented by using the three ways. We can construct the loop by while, we can construct the loop by do while, or by using for. These are the three different ways for forming the loop. There are the three different ways for implementing a selection logic: by simple if, by if else, by switch. So these are the three different options. Still, we can use the conditional operator, as I explained you in the last lecture. Conditional operator is also can be used for a conditional logic. The flowchart of the if statement is what condition is to be checked, and the diamond box is used, or this rectangle is used in place of a condition if condition is true or condition is false. If condition is true, then control will comes here. Control will come here, and these statements will be performed and then go to the and. And means the next statement, means the conditional logic will becomes finished. If condition is false, then it comes to the directly to the next line. So if the condition is false, we have to follow the following routes. If the condition is true, then this is to be done. In the code, we have to write down this as if, in the bracket there is a condition, and the condition should be in the round brackets. There is a block, code block, statement 1, statement 2, and so on, and last statement within the block, and then we have statements outside. This is these statements are outside the condition. Here we have main. The main is started from here. These two lines will be executed in a sequential logic. Line number 1 will be executed, line number 2 will be executed. When it comes to the line number 3, a condition is there. If the condition is true, then it comes inside the block. And if the condition is false, then it goes outside the block. Outside the block, I have this statement. So the condition is true or condition is false. Condition is true, then the block inside the if will be executed. If the condition is false, then it goes outside. There is a no repetitive statement in the condition. So this will not come. If this line comes, it will not move to the again on the condition. That is not the part of if command. So if command just in a sequence, the condition is tested, this block will be executed. Then after completion of this block, these two lines will be executed. On the other hand, if the condition is false, after completing these two lines, the bottom two lines will be executed. This block will be eliminated or not executed if the condition is false. So this type of logic is called selection logic. If a statement, condition, statement 1, statement 10, and so on. So outside the if and inside the if. This is inside the if. Inside the if will comes when if true, condition is true. Outside the if will comes when if the condition is false, then it jump to the next line. The next line is this. If the condition is false, then it moves to the next line. If condition is false, then line number 1 will be executed, line number 2 will be executed, then condition is tested. If it is false, then jumps to the line number 3 and 4. After the completion of line number 1 and 2, condition is tested. If the condition is true, then comes inside and all of the 1 to n statements will be executed. After the execution of these n statements, then last 2 lines will be executed and the program will be finished. So this is the structure of the simple if command. In this program, this is a practice example number 1. In this program, a variable num is declared. So num is what? For a number. So variable declaration. It is called variable declaration. So num is declared and it is now blank because none of the value is assigned to the num. Then we have a cout statement. The output of the cout statement will be what on the screen? This is my screen, suppose. And when cout statement will be executed, there is a line written on the screen. Enter a number less than 10. Enter a number less than 10. I wrote the line in a short form and the cursor will blink here and wait for the input. Why input is needed? Because the next line is the scene line. So scene do what? Scene ask the user to enter a number. To enter a number is not required by this line. Actually, the enter a number is required by scene. The cursor will blink here on the screen and user asks to enter any number. Suppose I entered 5 and press enter. So after pressing my enter, this 5 will be assigned to the variable num because scene do what? Scene assign the input number to the num variable. So the value of num is assigned by the scene. After the input, the condition is there. Number is less than 10 or not? Yes, the number is less than 10. Then it's come inside. And what will be written on the screen? It will be written on the screen, what obedient student? Because he said a number, user has to enter a number which is less than 5 and user entered a number less than 5. So we can have a statement on the screen, what a obedient student. That is the end of this program. So if the user enter a number which is 15, suppose user enter a number which is 15, then it comes here. 15 is less than 10. No, 15 is not less than 10. Then what has to be do? It goes outside the if. Outside the if, there is nothing. This is the end of the program. So nothing, this statement will not be printed on the screen if the user input 15. So if user input any of the number which is less than 5, less than 10, then the message of obedient student is written. If the number is 15, if the entered number is 10 or more than 10, then this message will not be printed on the screen. For a condition, we have to use relational operators, and all of you are familiar with the relational operators. In C++, there is a relational operator double equal to, and you have to write down the double equal to without any space. So you have to join these equal to sign 2 times. This is called equal to sign. So what this is, single equal to and double equal to, they are the 2 different operators in C++. This is called assignment operator. I used this assignment operator previously in the last program. Assignment operator. But double equal to is not an assignment operator. Double equal to is a relational operator. It checks whether the value of x is equal to the value of y. If the value of x is equal to the value of y, then the answer will be true. Otherwise, the answer is false. So not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So these operators are called relational operators. Arithmetic expression in the if statement can be used. So I am checking what? I am checking 3 plus 2 percent 5. Percent is a remainder operator, is an arithmetic operator. Plus is also an arithmetic operator. And if after division the answer is 0, then it means condition is false. If the answer is 1, means the condition is true. If the answer is any other number, means the condition is false. So if you have 1 here, 1 means the condition is true. If you have other than 1, means the condition is false. So 3 plus 2 is 5. When we divide 5 by 5, 5 by 5, then the 5 ones are 5, then the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0, condition is true. No, condition is false, sorry. If the remainder is 0, condition is false. It comes outside this if. This if starts here and this if ends here. This is another if. If A is equal to 10, then even this work. If -5 is not 1, condition is false, then see out. This condition is false. Surprisingly, even this work. So that are the different situation which is occurring in this program. So this is just a demonstration how if work. Now in this program, integer variable 1 and integer variable 2 are declared. Input first number seen in variable 1. Input second number, message will be printed on the screen in variable number. Variable is 2 has got a number by seen. If these two numbers are equal, then we have a statement printed on the screen that variable 1 is equal to the variable 2. If these two values are not given same by the user, because user can enter any of the number, then the condition will become false. If the condition is false, then it goes outside. This is the outside of the statement. Now if else. If else, if the condition is true, we have to do that. If the condition is false, we have to do that. So if else is another version of the command. If condition, then we have a set of a statement. Else, this set of a statement will be performed. So we have a two sets, and we want to execute any one of these two sets if the condition is for this. I am calling this as set A or block A. This is called block B. If condition is true, then block A is executed and block B does not executed. If the condition is false, then block A will not be executed while block B will be executed. Because else means what? If condition is true, then do this. If condition is false, then do this. So either block A is executed or block B will be executed depending on the condition. If condition is A is true, sorry, if the condition is true, then block A is executed. If the condition is false, then block A is skipped and block B will be executed. Now there is another example. If the same program we have here, enter a number which is less than or equal to 10. User has input the number by seen. If number is less than 10, obedient student. Otherwise, you are not an obedient student. So any of the two messages will be occur on the screen. If the user enter a number which is smaller than 10 or equal to 10, then an obedient student means you fulfill the command. Otherwise, you does not fulfill the command. We can apply the nested loop. Nested means what? So just listen and understand what is the nested loop. nested loop, sorry, not nested loop. This is nested if. So nested if means we have a if statement, condition 1. Then in the inside of the condition 1, we have another if statement, and there is a condition 2, and there are statements within the condition 2. I am closing the bracket of first one, and this is the starting bracket of main, and the main is closed here. So this if is completely enclosed within this if, outer if. This is called nested if. So nested means one thing is completely embedded within the another thing. This is called nested if. If the condition 1 is false, then it goes outside. Outside is what here? So condition 2 will not be checked. If condition 1 is false, then it goes outside condition 2 because it will not enter into the loop number, into the if number 1. If the condition number 1 is true, then it comes in. These 3 lines will be executed. Then another condition is checked, condition true. If it is also true, condition true. If condition 2 is also true, then it comes in, and then it goes outside the if command. So this is called nested if. There is a program which is referred to as how to check the largest of 3 numbers. So you have to write down a program in C++ that take inputs of 3 integers and find the largest number among these 3. So I have a program here. You can see 3 numbers A, B, C, and a variable large is declared. This is a declaration line. Then enter first number. These 2 commands will ask user to enter the first number. These 2 commands will ask the user to enter the second number. These 2 commands will enter third number. So 3 numbers are inputted by these 3 set of 2 lines. Then if A is greater than B, A is large. Else the B is large. So this is the check of whether A is large or a B is large. Then I have to check if B is large. If A is larger than B, then the large is A. Otherwise, the larger is B. So if the larger is A, then it is checked by C. So if larger is more than C, then the largest is large and an adult. Otherwise, the C will be the largest. So this is the conditional logic by which we are checking which one of the 3 is large. So this is done with the help of if structure. So if structure, if else structure. This is another structure which is known as the if else structure. In an if else structure, condition is tested, do this. If the condition is true, then it will do this. If this condition is false, comes to the else if, and another condition is true, is tested. If this is true, then do this. So do 2 conditions. After testing the 2 conditions, if the both conditions are, if the second condition is true, then it will do this. But the second condition is tested if the first one is true. If the first one is not true, then it goes outside the else if command. It will not come here and it will not come here to check it. So nested if is a very important command and we can use. Then we have a program of grades. Last time I made this program, and I think all of you has done this program and executed and compiled this program, because this program was discussed in the last lecture. This is the end of the recording of this presentation.